We now want to learn how we can write decimal numbers in expanded form. We just finished with writing whole numbers in expanded form, and I also showed you how you can get a number that an expanded form represents. We have our very first question here on how to write decimal numbers in expanded form. Question 1 here says we should write 4061 whole number 36 over 1000 in expanded form. You know that this is a decimal number. A mixed fraction that has whole number parts and a fraction is a mix of, it's a decimal number. Then when I taught you how to write decimal numbers in figures, I said that you can write decimal numbers as a fractional number as well too. Okay, so this number given to me, 4061 whole number 36 over 1000. Now, the best way we can approach this question is to use our place value method. Coming to the whole number part, this is 4061. So for the whole number, the highest place value is in thousand. So we have 100, tens, and what? Units. 4061. Then we're going to put our decimal point. This 36 over 1000 is the decimal digit part. Now, how do we pronounce this? This is simply 36 1000. 36 1000. What does that tell us? This tells us simply that the decimal digit part, the place value is up to thousands. That is why we divided it by 1000. If it was to be divided by 100, then it means that the place value of the decimal digit part is up to hundreds. If it is divided by 10,000s, it means that the decimal digit part, the place value is up to 10,000. In that way, are you following? So this one, we divided 36 by 1000, so it simply means that this decimal place value is up to thousands. And of course, you know our first decimal digit is, our first decimal place value is what? Tens. So we have hundreds, and then, of course, we have our thousands. Now, if you take your mind back to our previous class when I taught you how to write decimal numbers in figures, I told you that whenever you are filling the decimal part, please, this is thousands, TH and then TH on top. If you are filling the decimal part, I told you I strongly advise you to start filling from the smallest place value, from the last decimal place value, which is from the right hand side. I told you that, okay? Which means if I'm filling up this, coming to the whole number, 1 will come under unit as usual, 6 under tens, 0, 100, and 4 under 1000. Then coming here, I will start filling from this thousands. We are trying to fill 36 thousands. The number of interest here is 36. Now, if you have 36, how do you fill it here? Starting from these thousands. 6 will come under the thousands, 3 will come under the hundreds. Now you see clearly that tens is an empty place value, so you fill it up with what? 0. So I've written this, okay? There are different ways you can actually write this in decimal. These are decimal points, please. There are different ways we can write this. We can do it by movement of points and other things, but please don't worry. I'll show you all of those things in our subsequent classes as we move on, okay? For now, since we are dealing with place value application, numbers and numeration, I'll simply like you to learn how to write this decimal number using place value. Okay, now expressing it in expanded form. In expanded form, we have 4061 and 36,000, which is 0.3, that is 0.036. Will now be equal to, you know how to do that already? Pick each digit, use it to multiply the standard value of its place value. You start with the highest place value, oftentimes. Some people may choose to start from the lowest place value, the choice is yours. I will prefer starting from the highest place value. So 4 times 1000. Coming here, this 0 times 100, standard value of this place value 100. Then plus 6 times, of course, this is 10. And then plus, this will give us 1 times the standard value of unit, which is 1. We are not done yet. We move on to the decimal part. In the decimal part, we have 0 under tenths. The standard value of tenth, I prefer using that of decimal, is 0.1. Then plus 3 times standard value of hundredths is 0.01. Then plus 6 times the standard value of thousands is 0.001. That is all. We can now simplify this if the option wants you to simplify further. Of course, I would like us to get to a simplified form. 4 times 1,000, this is equal to 4,000 plus, we now have 0 times 100, which is 0. It goes off. So I'll cancel it, permit me. Then 6 times 10 will give us 60, plus the next one is 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 will give us 1. Then plus, we'll move on to the decimal part. 0 times 0.1 is 0, it goes off. And then 3 times 0.01 will give us 0.03. Simply use this 3 to multiply this 1. Are you following? Then 0.03. Okay, so this is plus 0.03. Then the last one, 6 times 0.001. Use this 6 to multiply this one. This becomes 6. So you have 0.006. That's plus 0.006. And of course, this is my answer. We are done with that. I hope this is clear, right? Please take note of how I wrote this mixed fraction in decimal form using the place values. Let's get set for question number 2. Let's see how fast we can be with this question 2. Write 16 and 300ths in expanded form. 16 and 300ths. Alright, so and 300ths. This hundredths tells us that this number is a decimal number. Now, before this hundredths, you have 3. So this 3 is attached to it. You now have this and. This and before this part that has hundredths shows that we have the whole number part and the decimal part. I've explained all of this when I taught you how to write decimal numbers in figures when it is given to you in Word. Now this number is given to us in words, so we need to see how we can write it in figures and then express it in expanded form. Like I said, it is true I can write this straight on in expanded form without first changing it to figures. But I'd like to change it to figures for you to see and understand it clearly. Here we have 16. That 16, if I give it to you to write, it is simply a 2-digit number, tenths and units, 16. Is that not so? And we simply write it as 1, 6. This is our 16. We now have and 300ths. 300ths is written as 3 over 100. So this is 16 whole number, 3 over 100. Over 100. Now this thing is in hundreds. If you are using the place value format, you know what to do already. This will be units and tenths. Then 3 over 100, pronounced as 300ths, tells us that the place value of this decimal part is up to hundredths. Does that make sense, right? So this can be written as equal to, working out with the place value, this is simply tenths and units, the whole number part. Then you have your decimal point. Then this 3 over 100, 300ths, tells us that the decimal place value will be tenths and hundredths. Fixing up the digit 16. Under the whole number part is this. You have your decimal point. Then 3 over 100, 300ths. Our interest is the 3. Now, where will you fix the 3? Is it under tenths or under hundredths? I told you the secret. Fill from the smallest decimal place value on the right. That's where you start from, coming this way. So the 3 will go under hundredths. Now there is no other digit. Therefore, this tenth is empty. It means you are going to fill the tenth with what? 0. It means that 16 and 300ths is written as 16.03. Now in expanded form, 16.03 is equal to, so you know what to do, very quickly, 1 times. Okay, should I start from the decimal part this time around? Okay, let us start from the decimal part. It doesn't make any difference. Are you following? But when you are reading, you know you should read from the highest place value, which in this case is tens. Starting from here, this 3 is under the place value of hundreds. The standard value of hundreds in decimal is 0.01. Okay, so this is 3 times 0.01. I told you I will use that of decimal often. Plus this will give us 0 times 0.1. You know, this tens, the value is 0.1. And 0 is under it, so you multiply by 0.1. Plus these units, the standard value of unit is 1. Multiply by the digit under it, 6 times 1. Then lastly, this one is under tens. So it's going to be 1 times the standard value of tens, which is 10. And so the answer here is going to be 3 times 0.01 will give us 0.03 plus 0 times 0.1 is 0. So it goes off. Permit me to cancel it, okay? And then we have 6 times 1 is 6. Lastly, 1 times 10 will give us 10. This is our answer. And so writing 16 and 300 in expanded form, this is what you're going to get. Let us now get set for possibly our last question. Number 3. Do you remember this number? When we started this class, this was part of the number I gave to you in expanded form, asking which number is being expanded to be this. And so this question asked, which number is written in this expanded form? 30 plus 4 plus 0.2 plus 0.06. Now we're going to solve this. But first of all, before solving it, you want to quickly take note that this number is a decimal number. That it has a whole number part and it has a decimal digit part. How do we know this? I said that already from the outset of this class. This decimal point helps me to find out or to say that this number here is actually a decimal number. So this is what I'm going to do to solve this. I'm going to identify the whole number part and identify the decimal digit part. Then as usual, I will find out the highest place value in the whole number part. I will find out the lowest, the smallest place value in the decimal digit part. Remember, if you take your mind back to our previous class, when I taught you how to write numbers, decimal numbers in figure, I told you as a secret, it's important for you to identify the highest place value in the whole number part and the lowest place value in the decimal digit part. So we can do that here, okay? Now, if you look at the decimal digit part, it contains 0.2 and 0.06. Now, if you check their place value, 0.2, this 0 is whole number, you know that, units. So the decimal digit there is this 2. And the place value of this decimal digit is tenths, because after this point you meet it. Now, if you come here, 0.06. Now, the whole number part is this first 0 under unit. The decimal digit is 0.6. Now, if you check the place value of this 0.6, this 0 is under tenths. And this 6 is under hundreds. So if you compare these two decimal parts, which is this 0.2 and this 0.06, these two decimal numbers, you will agree with me that the one that has the lowest decimal place value is this one, which is hundreds. You know, this one has tenths. This one has tenths. It's still reduced to hundreds. So the smallest place value in the decimal part is hundreds. That's how we find it out. If we had any other number here, let's say 0.00, okay? Say 4, all right? 0.004, it can be any digits. Then it means that this one has tens, it has hundreds, and it has what? Thousands. It therefore means that the smallest place value in the decimal digit part will be thousands. That is to say, if we had plus maybe 0.004, the lowest decimal place value would have been what? Thousands. But for this one, it is hundreds. Okay? I've shown you how you find out. Now, let us move on, please. In the whole number part, the highest place value is tens. How do we know that? This whole number digit 4 is units. You know that. Then when you come to this whole number 30, You have units, which is this 0, and you have tens, which is this 3. So tens is the highest there. It therefore means that in writing my place value, I will start with tens. I'll come down to units, then my place decimal point here. I'll move on to the decimal place value tenths, and the smallest or the lowest decimal place value we said is hundredths. And with this, I'll just start fixing up my digits. I'll come to the whole number part. This is 30. This 30 is under tens already, you know, because it has units and tens. So what do? I would extract the non-zero digits there and fix under that tens. I'll come to the unit number here. The unit number is 4, so you just put it there. Are you following? Then points. You come to this. This is 0.2. 0.2. Now, this decimal digit, what is the place value? You know, this is 2. Okay, but a decimal digit. What is the place value? The place value is tenths. You don't need this 0. This is just 0. Forget about it. Therefore, these two will come under tenths. You pick it out and write. Then come to this number. This number, go to the decimal digit 0.6. You are picking that digit which is not 0. Are you getting me? And the digit is 6. This 6 is under what place value? Hundredths. Therefore, it will come under this. Therefore, we conclude the number 30 plus 4 plus 0.2 plus 0.06. It represents, or the number it represents is 34.26. That's the answer. Let me write it in words for you. That is 34. It's going to be 34 and 26 hundredths. So that is how simple we handle all these problems, how to write numbers in expanded form. And if I give you the expanded form of a number, how you can get the number that was expanded to give that expanded form. Please watch this video over and over again, okay? Make sure you understand everything there. If you have a question, remember you can always send your question to us, and you'll get a response from the GMAT 41. Remember to copy your notes just below this video lesson. And after that, you have a quiz to take. Try yourself out to see how far you understand this topic. How to write whole numbers and decimal numbers in expanded form. There are 10 questions there. Remember your target score, 10 over 10. That shows how well you understand the topic. The next time I meet you, we'll be moving on to numbers and numeration part 5. And what will you learn there? We are going to be talking about Roman numerals and Hindu Arabic numbers. I hope to see you strong in our next class. Remember to study your book, watch these videos, take as many quizzes as you can, starting from part 1 of this number and numeration down to this part 4, and so that you can prepare for the next class. Don't forget, Roman numerals, all right? Place value is still coming up there, okay? Bye-bye.